So welcome to Australia's only Nissan Primera P10, as far as I'm aware. And I've been looking for one of these for ever since I came to Australia, so about 10 years now. I've been searching very hard to try and find one of these cars in Australia, probably weekly, and I've had saved searches on Facebook and Gumtree and everything, waiting for one to come up in case one did come up, searching Facebook chats to see if anyone knows of anything, anyone knows of any P10s in Australia. There's a couple of P11s, I know of three P11s, but no P10. And then 3 days ago, this one pinged a Facebook marketplace, pinged for a Primera, and I jumped on it, went to go and see it the next day, and 3 days later, here it is. So it actually doesn't look bad in video, but in person the paint is absolutely terrible, but that's okay because I've got a lot of plans for this car. So this is a late 1993, December 1993, 2-litre TM. So it's built in Japan. Someone has imported this car from Japan to Australia in the year 2000. And I think it's been in Queensland all that time. So this is originally a black car. It's black from factory, and it was black up until about 9 months ago, I think, and the bloke who I've bought it off decided he wanted it to be white, and it's been very much a home paint job on it, which is annoying for me because I wanted it to be, I'll be painting it black, back to black. My first one was black, and I'd like it to be black again, but yeah, this is very much a project, so that's fine. It can go and get a whole respray. So from factory, this car had a SR20DE, and the previous owner has put on an SR20VE head, so it should be around 190 horsepower standard. Just driven it home, just got home. It pulls pretty well, but it's an auto, unfortunately, at the moment, so it's hard to really feel how much potential the engine's got. I suppose in an auto you can't do what you want to do with the revs, but it does look like it's got some reasonably nice parts on it. It's got a custom exhaust on it, which some parts of it look pretty good, some parts of it look very homemade. I think at some point someone has had this on the track because it's got a aftermarket oil cooler on it. It's got some aftermarket oil temp, oil pressure, coolant temp gauges on it. Someone's obviously put some seats into it as well. So yeah. So the good thing about this car, since it's been in Australia for so long, year 2000 it came into Australia, so I had a good look around it when I first looked at the car a couple of days ago, and I couldn't really find any rust underneath. The only bit I found, which is a common area for them to rust, is just here, but in other suspect places, like in the door jambs where they rust, can't really see any rust on there, but I think these side skirts are probably hiding something, so I'm going to start taking this very questionable body kit, if that's what you want to call it, off, and then I can start assessing the car and seeing how much rust it's got, if any, and go from there. So I bought this from a guy called Ryan, who's a bit of a Primera enthusiast. Back in his home country, he has a P11, and he just happened to come across this car at a dealership, I think, a Nissan dealership, just like hidden around the back near the parts place when he was going to get parts for one of his other cars, and he inquired about it and said if whoever owns it, if they ever want to sell it, let me know. And that did happen about a year ago. I wish I knew about that, because I would have certainly wouldn't have painted it. It would have kept it black. But he's given me basically all the parts he had, which is really good, because obviously this is the only one in the country that I'm aware of, so it's going to be very hard to get parts. I'm going to have to get anything I need from New Zealand or back in England or Japan. So here's some parts that he's given me. That must be the original cam cover off the VVL head that he's put on the car. Some spare rear lights, a dead alternator because it's had a new alternator on it, the original steering wheel, an auto starter motor. Some front arms. It looks like it's had some front arms done with new bushes, performance bushes, so that's good. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start poking around and seeing if I can find any rust. There's some very common places that these rust, other than the boot spoiler leg and at the door, rear door sill. There's a couple of other places. I'm hoping that this is going to be clean, because it's been in Australia since the year 2000, so it was only 6 years old when it came here. Our cars don't really rust here unless it's a 4x4 and you're taking it on the beach and you're taking it, or it lives near the ocean. Our cars don't really rust, luckily. So yeah, let's start poking around and see if we can find some. So first place I'm going to look is in the boot. I've already taken the stuff out. It's complete, which kind of don't really expect, you know, for a, what, 32-year-old car. The boot floor looks spotless. That's just surface rust there. Not even surface rust, really. I can't believe how clean it is. Like here, around here, where the caravan, your tow bar plugs would go and things. Like, I'm not seeing any rust anywhere. In the guards here, it looks nice and clean. This one, the same. Wow. It genuinely looks spotless. I know the rear chassis legs. I remember my friend's P10 was rusting around the rear chassis legs a lot. So let's have a look, see what they're like on this car. Just get my torch. Wow, can't see anything at all. The tiniest bit of normal, absolutely normal surface rust. Let's have a look at the other side. The tiniest bit of surface rust again, which for anyone who's familiar with these cars or any 90s Japanese car or 90s Nissan especially, is just unheard of. Crazy. So another place that my friend's car was rusting really badly is here, where they're kind of in the joins in the door. I'm not seeing anything. The tiniest. This looks like a paint defect, to be honest. Let's have a look in the engine bay, into the nooks and crannies of the engine bay, see if there's anything. I can't see anything at all. My first car, which was a black Primera P10, behind all the radiator support, the radiator support slam bar down at the bottom. I remember that being really rusty down there. So I'll get down there and have a look in a minute. And at the back, around the battery tray, it was really rusty. Again, I don't see anything. Let's have a look underneath. Okay, so we'll have a look underneath at the front now. See if we can see anything down here. Tiniest bit of surface rust there. Does have an oil leak somewhere by the looks of it. But again, no rust, which is just unheard of on these, or certainly unheard of in Europe. I don't know about Japan. Okay, so they also rust in the sills as well. So we'll have a look down there. See if we can see anything. That's just where someone's jacked it. And here where someone's jacked it in the wrong place. It looks really clean. But I think what I'm going to do now is take these side skirts off. Hopefully they're not tiger sealed on. Try and take these side skirts off and see what's lying underneath them. It's still sunny and hot here. It's about 3:30, so I don't really want to get it out and wash it off yet. So yeah, we'll start removing those side skirts. Might try and remove these rear bumper, this pretty nasty rear bumper thing as well, and I certainly won't want to be keeping that. So and I'll probably remove these stickers. Well, I will remove all these stickers now as well. I suppose at first I just want to strip it back. This will be getting a full, probably just a closed door respray, a good quality closed door respray, because it's a black car originally, so I don't need to do the door jambs and things. You've seen the condition of the boot, inside the boot and in the engine bay. All the paint looks pretty good other than a bit of overspray, which I should be able to remove. So all this looks like it's going to clean up pretty nicely. Hopefully this engine continues to feel healthy. If it doesn't, there could be a case swap down the line. But for now, I just really want to kind of strip it back as far as I can and make sure I'm happy with the condition of the body and the chassis, and that there's no major rust issues. Because, you know, this car I'm going to keep for a long time. So I don't want to do this half-assed. I want to do a good quality job on it. Alright, so that's the old side skirts off, or these aftermarket side skirts off. Dirty, but as far as I can see, no rust. They rust here, and there's nothing. That's not rust, that's glue. They've drilled right into the sill, which is a bit annoying, but no rust at all. There's kind of a tiny bit of contact rust there where there was like a metal plate and it's rubbed off the paint. the original paint, but nothing, tiny little bit of just kind of surface rust there from stone gravel. So next job is take these nasty caliper covers off, and then I'm going to take this rear bumper off. It looks like it's might be joined here with filler, but we'll see. How it's probably just going to snap off, to be honest. Alright, so I've taken the aftermarket side skirts off and the aftermarket rear diffuser thing, whatever you want to call that, and I've taken off the hideous fake Brembo caliper covers as well. So now I'm just going to give it a jet wash, see how much of this white paint is going to peel off on its own. Hopefully a lot. Alright, so I've given it a jet wash just to see if any paint would peel off, and I was kind of expecting it would, and it has been. Which I don't really know if that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. There's the Kuro black that it was underneath. Been managing to get some of the paint off, some of the overspray off as well, just with the jet wash, which is good. Give it a good jet wash underneath as well, just to clear up any muck and see what it was looking like under there. So I've found a couple of interesting things on the car just tonight, just on day one. It's got some braided Goodrich brake lines, which is interesting. And it's also got decent tyres. Someone stuck some RE003s on it at some point. They're old, you can tell they're old, but someone has looked after this car at some point, I'm pretty sure, especially now seeing the braided brake lines, that it's been on track. It was someone's track toy, whether that was in Australia or if that was in Japan, or maybe it was somewhere else in between, I don't know. But yeah, haven't found anything bad so far. Yeah, just going to keep going through, tidying up what I can tidy up for now, and start making a list of what parts we need to start getting. There'll be a manual gearbox conversion, which I'm going to need quite a few bits for. So I need to start sourcing those parts, probably from New Zealand. It's just going to be a bit easier from there, because people can obviously speak English easily. Alright, so that's day one, or well, not even day one. Picked it up at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, so evening one of Australia's only Nissan Primera P10. I don't want this to be a, really long project. I'd like to think that it'll be done and I'll be happy with it by the end of the year. As long as I can source the parts and pay for the parts. Thanks for watching.